your survival hinges on wages and walking away from your job is not a real option, then you are not free. You are beholden to a system that controls your time, energy, and well-being. Consider this. If you possessed significant property or wealth, you could afford to work purely for passion. You could walk away the moment the job became oppressive, but most people can't. Across the world, millions depend on employment in corporations, entities often resembling private dictatorships, for their basic survival. This dependency is what defines modern wage slavery. Even those who claim to love their jobs are not immune. Should they lose employment and fail to secure another, the system is structured to punish and marginalize them. A civilization designed for human flourishing should not demand lives spent in monotony, enriching the few at the expense of the many. If the majority endure drudgery while a minority reap luxury, the system is not just flawed, it is unjust. A just world would ensure happiness for all, not privilege for a select few.
Ah yes, the we're all slaves narrative, where having a job, paying rent and not owning a vineyard somehow equals being chained in a galley ship. It's a seductive idea for anyone who's had a bad Monday or watched Fight Club one too many times. But let's not kid ourselves. Comparing modern employment to chattel slavery is a bit like comparing a paper cut to being decapitated. You might not like your boss, but your boss isn't branding you, selling your kids, or denying you literacy. The wage slavery crowd often forgets that the reason people work isn't because they're oppressed, it's because they enjoy eating and not living in a cave. Sure, late-stage capitalism has its sins, but if you're sending anti-capitalist rants from a MacBook over Wi-Fi while sipping an oat milk latte, maybe, just maybe, you're less of a slave and more of a well-fed revolutionary cosplaying oppression.
To call employment slavery is to misunderstand both history and freedom. Slavery means coercion, the absence of choice, and the denial of basic rights, including the right to family and autonomy. By contrast, wage labor is a voluntary agreement between free individuals. If I choose to exchange my time and skills for money, that doesn't make me a slave. It makes me a participant in a mutual contract. I am free to leave, renegotiate, or even reject the system entirely and pursue my own business. Freedom in a market economy includes the liberty to shape one's destiny, to pursue opportunity, and to reject what doesn't serve you. Those who live in such economies are among the freest people to have ever existed. To equate this freedom with slavery is not only inaccurate, it's intellectually lazy. It disrespects both the horror of true slavery and the possibilities of free enterprise.
And now for the I am a sovereign individual in a free market utopia crowd. Capitalism's hype men, clapping like trained seals every time someone mentions personal responsibility. The argument that a job is a voluntary agreement between equals is adorable. Like believing your cat loves you because it sticks around. Let's be real. Most voluntary agreements look more like take this job or lose your healthcare and maybe your home. The idea that everyone is free to just start their own business is rich, usually coming from people whose parents paid for their first 3 failures. This romantic view of market freedom ignores that most people are one bad week away from GoFundMeing their medical bills. Yes, you're technically free to leave your job, but you're also free to starve, free to go bankrupt, and free to die on hold with customer service. So yes, you're free. But like a goldfish in a bowl, you can swim in any direction you like, as long as it's in circles. Both sides have a point. One is melodramatic, the other naive. One sees only chains, the other only choices. Reality, as usual, is somewhere in between, probably in a cubicle pretending to work,